Oh, Jason, first comment in the chat. Thank you. Guys, World War III is cooking. What's happening here is that the Houthis have finally fired at a U.S. ship, the USS Mason. The USS Mason is a ship that went in and was running cover for the ship that some of these pirates from Yemen tried to take over. But they were those people that tried to take this ship. There was a ship that was flagged apparently. What country was it? It was not an Israeli ship. I had all the data, guys. I can't take notes. I'm just sitting here in my vehicle. I don't take notes like I do when I'm at home. But the ship was anyway. It was owned by a group that's owned by an Israeli, managed by, but the ship was actually Nigerian, I believe. Yeah, it was a Nigerian ship, if I recall correctly. But anyway, that was managed by a Israeli-owned organization. But there was no Israelis on board, and it turned out that when the ship was seized, the guys that seized it turned it loose, and the people that apprehended it were taken by American ships. And in return, the Houthis fired on the U.S. ship. That may not be the biggest war news. There's a lot of other stuff cooking right now, guys. So I just want to bring some of this to you. Excuse me, I'm holding this phone in my hands. Anyway, hello, everybody. So what's been happening here is that the Houthis have finally fired, once again, for all you just joined, on an American ship, USS Mason. But they missed it by a pretty wide margin. USS Mason is one of those Burke-Arleigh class destroyers. It's part of the Eisenhower strike group. Now, by the way, I remember when I was telling people that the Eisenhower was going to go through the Suez Canal. I had somebody chat, no, it's not. It's going through the Strait of Gibraltar. Well, you got to go through the Strait of Gibraltar before you go through the Suez Canal. And it did all that. And now it's gone through the Strait of Hormuz. The USS Eisenhower is in the Persian Gulf, which means it can't get out of the Persian Gulf without going through the Strait of Hormuz again. So at some point, they're going to know precise location of it. It does possess a threat to Iran. It is there to threaten Iran. There's no other reason to be in the Persian Gulf. So these things are cooking up. It is getting really intense in that area. Now, some people might recall that actually the Eisenhower was sent over originally to relieve the USS Ford, which went to the Mideast. But with all the conflict over there with Israel and Hamas, USS Ford's duty was extended. So the USS Ford, the biggest aircraft carrier and ship ever, is still on conversation. Okay, Joji, you remember me talking about that? Good. Yeah, I talked quite a bit about that, actually. Somebody in the comments said, I know it's not going through there. It's going through the Strait of Gibraltar. Well, you got to go through the Strait of Gibraltar first. Anyway, it was what I said. So, I get a lot of weird comments sometimes, people trying to throw some mud. Anyway, I don't claim to be right on everything. Not by a long shot. And unfortunately, I can't take notes in my van sitting here in the dark in the desert. I don't have a desk. I don't have my office available to me. I don't have my desktop computer available to me. I don't have good internet available to me. All I really got is my phone out here. So hang on there. Yeah, it was in stay out of the Arabian Sea. Well, it went in the Arabian Sea, the Eisenhower did, but then went into the Persian Gulf. It's actually in the Persian Gulf, which is like being in a barrel, and it's definitely probably within range of numerous Iranian missiles. So hopefully the strike group's anti-missile system's up to task should it be challenged. But that's kind of a bottleneck, especially when it goes through the Strait of Hormuz or the Suez Canal, even the Strait of Gibraltar. Not so much that one, but anytime you know exactly where these ships are, it makes them somewhat vulnerable. And you can bet that Iran can monitor anything in the Persian Gulf. Hey, Billy the Kid. So, guys, this is what we got to watch out for: is that we are in great tension there. Things can go wrong. No battle survives first contact with the enemy. No battle plan survives first contact with the enemy. Russia Well, as I don't know if you've heard, but there was huge drone strikes on Kyiv. Something like 70 drones, I believe it was, struck. The Ukrainians had said they took out 40 of them. And then what happened is Ukraine has decided to hit back. 3 international airports in Moscow have been shut down as of like this morning and yesterday. Well, it's that's a pretty dire situation when Moscow gets hit like that. Even by drone attacks, there are 3 international airports got to be shut down. That is really significant. That's going to get the attention of the Russians, and this really is going to kick up a lot of tension. I think it's just maybe what I saw Canadian Prepper's title. I haven't had time to watch his video this time. I've been out here working in the desert. Do you know that most of the elites follow? Oh, okay. Is that he is the key to the time that you live in? So that's one of the angels or demons, Azazel. Is that the name that you see in the book of Enoch there, God's Marie 70? Anyway, a lot of questions about such things. So, guys, here's what's cooking. The situation with Russia is also tense with respect to, they're going in, they're still trying to take, I don't know how you pronounce this, Avdiivka, Diikvka, something like that. I don't know if you call it Avdika, or how you pronounce it. But they're still in Bakhmut. They're still fighting over Bakhmut. The Russians are trying to take Avdika, which is a Ukrainian-held territory in the middle of Donetsk, which is pretty much surrounded by the Russians on north, south, and east, just not to the west. So it's a situation that that's still a big slugfest. But the Ukrainians have crossed the Dnieper River in pretty good force. They've got establishments on several sides of the East Bank. I mentioned that in my last video. They're basically 43 miles from Crimea. Now, I've talked about taking Crimea and how that would be exceedingly difficult in the best of situations and might not be really worth them taking it directly because of the losses I expect Ukraine to take if they do that, and the fact that Ukraine is limited in personnel. They're fighting a war of attrition. I don't know if they could handle the kind of losses that they would incur taking Crimea, unless they got a lot of people on Crimea that's going to do the heavy lifting for them. They do have some rebel groups in Crimea. They do have the Tartars that's on their side, and some of the Russian stuff's been pulled out of Crimea. But I was talking from the inception of this channel saying that Russia would probably go to nuclear war over Crimea. And so this is something we got to consider. If Ukraine's winning, they might really lose. Nuclear war is a possibility. This is something that a lot of the Russian speakers and I've talked about this a couple of videos back, have started bringing up, is the idea that a tactical nuclear war doesn't necessarily mean the end of civilization. Remember that little video I talked about that? So these are some things that are cooking right now, guys. But see, that could escalate easily escalate. So there's a lot of stuff over there between Russia and Ukraine that could still boil over. We're not seeing so much of that because we've been so focused on the Mideast, but it's not abating. It's not going away. It's getting more intense, and it's getting more intense in the Mideast. You can bet China is going to take advantage of this. I had somebody in one of the chats recently comment, well, China won't take Taiwan, or they won't advance it because it'd be too difficult, be too costly for them. Well, that's what we'd like to think, and we've seen part of our defense strategy for Taiwan has been to arm them to the point that it's kind of like a porcupine. It'd be too prickly to bite onto. But nevertheless, the Chinese are really advancing their preparations for such an attack, and you could say the same is true for Ukraine. Russia wouldn't continue the war with Ukraine because it's too costly for them. It's very costly, yet they're still doing it. Now, on another note, there was a chance for peace between Russia and Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine actually had a peace treaty they were working on. And who shot it down? Well, none less than Great Britain's former Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Terms of the peace treaty were that Donetsk would remain in Ukraine, but as an autonomous region, kind of like it was before, and that Ukraine would not seek to join NATO in return for Russia pulling out in peace. Well, that's pretty good terms, I think. That is pretty darn good terms, and Boris Johnson supposedly shut it down. Wow. Yeah, we've talked about that in the past, like many months ago, like probably over a year ago, that Boris Johnson shot that down back then. Well, it's been confirmed now by other sources. That's my point, including the Russians. Hey, Boris. So, says JoJo. Green Country. Yeah, we got Jason Neighbors in the house tonight, guys. So I think we still got enough. I need to do some direct interviews with Jason. I got to wait till I get back to home where I got access to my laptop and Zoom and all that good stuff. Not laptop, my main computer. Or get Starlink set up out here, which if I come back out here soon, I probably will. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So, North Korea is still, making threats and really catching a lot of attention, especially the satellite launch that they've done, which has been confirmed by Japan. Japan's seen the satellite in orbit, confirmed that it's up there. So, guys, it's getting tense everywhere. U.S., Iran, the whole Israel, Mideast thing, Turkey. I kind of think Turkey's still basically blustering and talking, but who knows? Russia, Ukraine. It's just all over the world right now. Things are extremely tense. And if you don't think you shouldn't be prepping, what are you thinking? Seriously, guys, get your preps in order. Get everything together. Check out the specials you find. Prepwithgreg.com, where you get long-term food storage that lasts 25 years. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2,000 calories a day. A deal to make you learn. The prices are very good, all things considered. And food prices are going up. You need to do two things. Have long-term food storage, because we could have a nuclear volcanic winter, and have your ability to grow your own food, which you can go to Eden Brothers and Tree Leaf Market. See my links to those in my videos that I post, not these live sessions, because I sell them. Because I'm not, where I got all my resources and notes and computers and files. I'm out here sitting in a van in the middle of the desert. I've been living in this van. This is my home away from home, guys. I don't know if you can see the curtain back there. I've done a video in this van. I walked through it. It's pretty much the same as it was then. So that's what I'm dealing with. I'm the man in the van down by the wash. So not sure whether Iran was hit today. Yeah, okay, conflicting reports. Yeah, there's something about a nuclear plant or something. Yeah, I don't know, guys. So there's just a lot going down, living in the van down by the river. Yeah, but my river's dry. Billy the Kid. It's called a wash up here. Well, there's actually some water in it right now because we had rain back last weekend. We had a little bit of snow yesterday morning. Saturday morning, I got up to dust in the snow. So, snow and snowflake. I was here in this community 4 years ago for a Thanksgiving dinner with some friends here, and it came a really good snowstorm that weekend. Really good. When I drove through, a pretty good snowstorm on Albuquerque on my way out here this time. So, anyway, that's the bottom line of that stuff. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to head back home, take care of some business. I'm going to head out here Thursday morning. I'm actually flying out so that I can get to Alabama quick, And then I'm going to turn around and drive a different vehicle out here. I'm going to be back. I plan to be back by the 9th. Hey, Rodney, how you doing, buddy? Down from down under. We got a lot of people in here from down under now. I saw, flying one. Yeah, I'm flying out. And I got a special where the flight was less than about the price of the gas it takes me to run back and forth. So I took it, and now I'm kind of regretting it, but puts less wear on this vehicle. I'm going to have some things looked at with it. Tuesday, it's skipping a little bit, so it's missing just a little bit. Probably just needs a tune-up. I think it needs some brake work. I got pulled over today. I got pulled over by Snowflake's finest. The reason is it looked like I didn't have a tag. Well, I did have a tag. You just couldn't see it. And the reason you couldn't see it was crusted over with mud. My entire van from about the side of down is mud encrusted. In fact, I saw somebody, an old man at Lowe's a couple of nights ago. He said, "You been four-wheeling that thing?" I said, "It looks like it, don't it?" So no, it's just driving up and down my trail road. Because after the rain and this little snow that we had, different things like that, the rain turns the ground into clay. So all that stuff, when you drive, it just cakes everything. So yeah, I'm totally mudded over. Not a lawbreaker, just couldn't see my tag. I got pulled over because I didn't get a ticket. Hey, Rodney. Well, salute to you, Rodney. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, I sound a lot better. I do. I'm feeling better. I told you guys I'm getting better. I was able to run my CPAP machine, a few nights. It made a huge difference. Just snoring in that cold air, mouth breathing because you're snoring, it's rough on the respiratory system. It is rough. And that left me open. And I went immediately and got a bunch of zinc-based medicines and elderberry and stuff like that. And I took them, and that and getting back to the CPAP, getting some kind of scarf to warm up my throat and my chest. Of course, there were no scarves available. There was no scarves in Snowflake. I needed a scarf real bad because I was feeling the cold, the pain right here. So I did a makeshift scarf. My makeshift scarf was some sleeping pants, as they're called. Basically, fancy jammies. Basically, I just tied the legs around my neck and hung the rest of it down over my chest. Actually, that was kind of funny, but it worked. Yeah, it actually worked like a charm. Better than most scarves, because scarves kind of come loose and everything. That really kept the heat in right where I needed it. It's part of what I was joking about, I think, yesterday when I was talking about, you're getting old when, right? With our little jokes from last video. Goldsmary, look, my beloved brothers and sisters of mine, if you cannot figure out what time it is, you're already left behind. Yeah, that's about it. Take a shirt or an old pair of underwear. That's about it. That's about it, JoJo. I like Arizona. No permit needed. That's right. There's no permit needed here. And yeah, I do. What I hate is driving back and forth through the People's Republic of New Mexico. What time it is? Plan and X divided by plan X raised to letter X equal to 24th letter 2024. Oh, wow. Judy, Greg, do you have a good stove? Not in operation. I'm in my van. Putting a stove in my van ain't going to work. I have bought a 2-burner wood-burning stove for the building we're building here, but it's in my little storage building right now I got out here. Yeah, wood stove. I got one. It's a 2-burner stove, 2 eyes. Somebody, good buddy of mine, actually told me, oh, those can only be used in a well-drafted building, like a log cabin that's not chinked. I've seen people use those in houses. He just said, oh, the carbon monoxide will get you. So, I don't know. You're getting old when you're watching Green Graves living in the van down by the wash. You don't have to be old to watch me. I hope not. We got some younger people in here. Somebody had a message. Yeah, I'm not worried about Planet X, folks. How come I won't let me show this gold? God's Marie got held by, I don't know why, because she was saying something was dumb. It won't let me show it. I'm clicking the show button. Oh well. What's going on with that? It should let me show it, but it ain't doing it. Oh well. Pretty good Thanksgiving. I went to some friends. Went to Scott and Jen Miller's place for Thanksgiving lunch, and we had a little prior big free Thanksgiving luncheon at the senior center here. That's why I was joking. And my jokes about getting old, about you're getting old when you go to the senior center to pick up chicks. I didn't go there for that, but the thought occurred to me. I was like, that would be a sure sign. Anyway, yeah. So Greg has great clay for making an adobe oven. That's true. We got tons of clay here. Tons of clay, adobe oven, all kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, it cakes the tires. I mean, it just makes the tires, it just totally cakes around. You walk here and walk around in it, and after a little rain, and you're carrying a softball load of mud under your shoe everywhere you step, and that's heavy. So, Judy says no to what? Jacob says, hi, Greg, there's firewood out there. There's a lot of firewood out here. That's true. This juniper, and juniper burns really well, but it burns fast. You put a big juniper log on the fire, and it's gone in like minutes. It's wow, that stuff burns. It burns like crazy. Burns hot. Smells about like any other wood burning. Alaska, so that's why I asked, what'd you ask? Okay, someone in one of my groups looks like you. Someone in one of your groups looks like me. What group is that, Alaska Soul? What group is that? Seniors are the models of the 1970s and 80s. Let's see here. John Adams, I'm 71. And I'm watching a teenager. There you go. Well, good. I'm glad to be here. I'm being compared to a teenager. Yeah. Juniper berries make gin. That's true, but boy, you can't eat a whole lot of them. Although the coyotes around here will eat them to apparently control parasites, is what I've been told. Because I found some large scat that was full of juniper little seeds. And I go, what? What is that? Because I thought coyotes would be just totally carnivorous and there wouldn't be stuff like that. And I thought, what vegetarian animal around here is not making rabbit-sized pellets and they're putting big scat out like that? Well, that's what I got told. I don't know. But there are elk. There's antelope. There's elk that migrate through here. They don't reside here, but they migrate through this wash down here below me. And cougars are known to follow them. There are antelope right around here. And there's various versions of deer around here. Mule deer, whitetail. Oh, he's talking to Judy? Okay. Love coming at you from Kentucky, boss man. Hey, truth hurts. Oh, Judy going to bed. Thanks for joining us, Judy. Judy, how are you doing? How are you doing, Judy? Judy's had some health issues. I hope all is well with her and her daughter. I've had them both. I've interviewed Judy and her daughter Cherry back many years ago, if y'all might recall. Where there's water, there's life. Yeah, we got water here, but it's it's not like Alabama. There's rain and snow and such, and you can drill down and hit an aquifer. Uh, Gosman, I'm serious. This is coming from the United States Marine. God is your only choice. United States Marine? What do you mean by Marine? We have Bengal tigers here in the Bangladesh jungles. Where are you at, Ron? Are you in Bangladesh? Are you sure you're not a mountain man? I always wanted to be a mountain man when I was a kid. This just keeps my ears warm. I found this hat in Snowflake, and I just put it on. I was wearing my other hat until a little bit ago. I thought my ears are feeling a little cool. So, good water in the ground. Yeah, the aquifer here is the Coconina Aquifer. It's not tapped by Tucson and Phoenix. Almost nobody's tapping it. It's the second largest aquifer in the world, and almost nobody's tapping into it. So it's a good, strong aquifer. Ray, did you hear the 82nd Airborne's been called up and flying to the Middle East? That's not good. And the 10 Yeti are marching toward it. 10 Yeti? What? Saw it on Lee's channel. What are you talking about, 10 Yeti? The windy one? 10 Yeti. I'm doing good, just stressing on my grandson. Oh no. His mom doesn't want him. No wonder he's trying to commit suicide. All right, he needs love. He needs love. His mom. You talking about Cherry? Judy? Oh, you like my hat? Thank you, JoJo. That's right. That's one of the reasons I went to Alaska. Is I really wanted to go out in the wilderness, but that was back in the days I still wanted to get in my college and do space stuff. But I've always been, yeah. One of my favorite movies when I was a little kid was Jeremiah Johnson. As I said, everybody needs to pray for Judy and her grandson, folks. 69 years young, been 5 years in Bangladesh. Oh, why'd you go to Bangladesh, of all places, Ronald? Bangladesh is not a place that stuck out to me as the go-to location. I think it was lowland. It always gets flooded. Poor country, lowland, it gets flooded every time there's a monsoon. Charles Lindbergh, the 82nd to cross the Pacific. All the 82nd. Well, how are they going across the Pacific then to get there? That's a long way around. 82nd's based at Fort Bragg on the East Coast. Why don't they be crossing the Pacific? Cherry's his aunt. Okay, so I'm glad it wasn't Cherry. Because we interviewed Cherry, and she seemed to be a really nice woman there. I'm so sorry to hear that, Judy. That is awful. That's the worst thing for any kid. Oh, Yemeni soldiers, not Yeti. Yemeni. Marching? Shall we play a game? I don't know, Billy. Games can be a lot of things. Well, guys, I'm not getting all the news. All my news sources aren't as readily available to me. Like I said, the only thing I got right now is my phone, and I'm not as adept at searching and doing stuff on the phone as I am a computer, especially at desktop. So, yeah, when I get back and get my my Zoom set up, I want to interview Jason. Jason and I had some good conversations. Jason Avers with Green Country Agroforestry had some really good conversations about human nature and governance and a lot of things like that, economics. And I thought, we need to make a series of videos out of that. So I wanted to do war games. I think we're already in war games. I love the adventure in exotic lands. Let me go back to that. But it helps to have a beautiful Bengali wife to keep me young in Bangladesh. Okay. Can't argue with that. I moved my pantry foods to the back room and canned goods to the front room because my pantry is an old bedroom. Yeah, I hadn't heard any of that, but I haven't heard any of that about the Yemeni troops moving and such things. So apparently Rodney is getting that off of Lee Wilbarger's KLW World News channel. So I'm not seeing any confirmation of that. Now, he does have a lot of cameras and sources and can get data early sometimes, but some confirmation would be good to have. I don't know. I hadn't seen that. So thank you there, Gabby. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Even when I was feeling, when my voice got so bad, that's actually, I was already getting better. I mean, it hit me. When it hit me, it was like, a cold. I started coughing. My nose started running. But after I really peppered it with the zinc and, found me my makeshift scarf, I started getting a lot better. Take them as they're coming to America, Neil Diamond. That's a good song, but yeah, I think they really are. Maybe in a way we don't want. Ronald Fink, I'm a historian on the British Empire, Bangladesh. Oh, there you go, Ronald. That sounds interesting. I'm glad to have you in here from Bangladesh. That's cool. Bangladesh. There you go, Grant says, hug your nephew. Yeah, this kid needs a lot of love. 10 equal Yemen. Yemen means 10? Really? Judy? That's interesting. So Judy says 10,010 in troops moving to the Saudi border on their way to Pakistan. Well, the Saudis will have to let them through then. The Saudis and the Yemens have been fighting each other, the Houthis at least, have been fighting for some time. So is the Saudis going to let the Yemen soldiers through Saudi Arabia? I don't know. That would be amazing if that happened. 10,000 Yemeni troops, says Judy. So I grew up with Jeremiah Johnson and my uncle, the biker. He used to fix his motorbike in the living room when teaching me watching the movie. Cool. Yeah, it might be toy in there, Billy. I really wonder if the United States is serious. We send, we're posturing. We send our big ships there, but are we really going to do anything? And then if you really don't want to do anything, why would you send your big ships? So are we really doing the right thing? Especially if we don't plan to do anything. So if you posture and you're not going to back it up, then people aren't going to trust your posture next time if you really need to posture for some reason. So I don't know. Biden doesn't strike me as being a man to exert force. And I've already seen some articles claiming that the United States needs to be more aggressive with China in the South China Sea and places like that. We are backing up the Philippines. So that's where we could really get into it, guys. There's just too many chances for, oh yeah, another thing, guys. The sunspots have increased like 10 times more than normal, apparently. And so we may get hit by a solar storm tomorrow. It may not be a major one, but the sun is starting to really kick up again. Dave Smith, hi from Arizona. Well, hi, Dave from Arizona. I'll say hello to you from Arizona. It's the Def Leppard Armageddon. Well, it makes some people, in the United States, wealthy. That lobby Congress, Billy the Kid. How weak do we have to look for China to take the bait? Well, we're looking pretty weak. Biden is just as bad as our prime minister. Oh, okay, Gabby. Yikes. Maybe Jaws. All right, guys. I'm going to scroll back up so I can catch a few things I might have missed. Especially earlier on. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know about the raining thing. That's why I didn't bring it up. And God's Marie says, no matter what happens, just remember one thing. You're not a human being going through a spiritual experience. You're a spiritual being going through a human experience. Okay? Miss Bobby from East Texas watching. Well, thank you, Miss Bobby, for coming in the house. Denver Rock Broncos. Oh, Lord. Did they play? Did they win? I don't know. I've been keeping up with the sports. Jason had the first comment in here tonight. Yay, Jason. All right. Let me go back down to the bottom. Ding. Yes, Rodney, we're shy of thumbs up, guys. Come on, help me out. They're all telepathic. Some agree. If gingers ruled the world, be a better place. Trust me. Oh, well. Jason, China would be very stupid to go after Taiwan now. They need to be able to defend supply lines, defeating their invading troops across 100 miles of ocean. Yeah, it makes it rough. And it depends on sea states. They're not in a good sea state time now. They might blockade Taiwan, but actual invasion force wouldn't be good probably until spring at best, like April. Hail to my ginger brethren, says George Coggins. Hello. Battle of Armageddon. Maybe. Alrighty, folks. Yeah, let's get the thumbs up going. Only half of you have been hitting the thumbs up. And if you don't like what you're hearing, tell us why. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Do you hear about Venezuela waiting to take 70% of Guyana land for gold? That wouldn't surprise me. You dated a ginger once, and they say I married a brunette. All right, folks. All right, guys, it's getting kind of, I got to get up early. I got to actually work tomorrow. So I think we're going to call it a night here. 18 right now in Iowa. Wow, you're actually colder than we are. Heard a beating. Wait, where'd that go? Heard a beating back at my door, woke me up out of bed. No one answered. Oh. Over the media. Oh. If they remake The Wizard of Oz, Biden would make a perfect scarecrow. Loudy. Ginger cat, I guess. All right, Gail, good to see you from Colorado. Yeah, enjoy it. Be helping a lot of the Middle East countries that separation. All right, still got a little cough. Germans took Nassau. Horton, here's Hugh. Oh, Lord. Funny, Lee. Yes, Jojo. All right. All righty, folks. I think we'll call it a night here. I think we're going to call it a good night. Indeed. All right. I'm not going to stay warm. I'm going to try to. All right, folks. Hey, we got a super chatter in here tonight, so thank you, a couple of you. Thank you, super chatters. I'm going to be back in Alabama? Probably not long because I got to get back here. Oh, yeah, one thing. I did not raise the walls yet. I didn't quite have enough manpower. A couple of guys were not really liking the idea of pulling with a truck without having some pulley up high. And just so happened that my neighbor between me and the one that's been helping me a lot, I got two neighbors up that's been giving me a good hand, but the neighbor adjacent, he lives down in what we call down in the valley here locally here in Arizona, he came up this weekend and today actually, not the whole weekend. He came out this evening and he looked at it. He says, "Look, I got a 4-wheel drive truck that can pull it really good. I've got these pulleys. I got nail guns." He says, "If you'll hold off till I can get back up here," he says, "we can get this thing put together in a weekend." So that was music to my ears. Thankfully to my next door neighbor property owner, who I have not seen since before I put my road in. So we've kind of decided to get back together here in a couple of weeks and try to knock this thing out. Weather permitting, I need to get this in before the winter really sets in. And more into December you go, the more you encounter that. So I'm going to leave and go back to Alabama briefly, then come back and try to get that up. But I do plan to be in Alabama come Christmas time. I spent Thanksgiving here. It's the second time I've been out here for Thanksgiving. It's the second time it's been Thanksgiving out here. So, but I am planning to be back in Alabama, hopefully before Christmas. Maybe stay a few weeks. I don't know. But I've got to haul a lot of stuff out here if I actually sell my place there. Sweet Home, Alabama. Yeah, they played that a lot on radio when I've been out here in Arizona. Amen. So, pit to tip, bottom is top in this backwards world, something like that. Anyway, take care, Greg. All the best to you and the property you're crafting. If I was in the area, I'd lend a hand. Well, thanks, Arthur. Well, I'm hoping, weather permitting, that the 9th of December will be the Magic Charm weekend. So if you are in the area, any of you guys, then let me know. All right, folks. Without the hat, keeps my ears warm. To what, Dr. Jekyll? Anyway, folks, once again, thank you, Super Chatters. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for watching. 2 brain cells. Are you talking about Biden? I don't know. If you had 2 brain cells, it'd be dangerous. Fly by night. Stay safe and warm. I'm going to try, Granny. Yep, Jekyll, Biden. Anyway, thank everybody for watching. God bless, and Greg out. Good night, and Greg out.